Hi guys, welcome again to Brain Gist. Today I just want to do a continuation on my series about red flags and headaches. I'm building on the previous videos I've done about why we might need to do head MRI in headache medicine and what are those red flags, the things that are concerning that if they are present or associated with your headache, I and other headache specialists and neurologists would be worried and would want you to do a head scan of some sort or some other kinds of investigations, wanting to find out what might be underlying your headaches. So today I'll be continuing that series and talking about one more red flag in headache medicine. So welcome to the channel. It's Brain Gist. It's the channel where we talk about things that have to do with the brain that you need to know to enhance your health brain wise. We talk about the nerves and the muscles and everything else in the nervous system. So if this sounds like the kind of things that you like, please subscribe, leave your comment behind, share, and of course like the videos. So diving back into today's topic, and that has to do with red flags in headache medicine. So what are those things that I would see or observe in your headache history that would make me want to do an investigation or make me suspect something seriously wrong underlying your headaches or something potentially life-threatening? So I will give you these two scenarios and I'd like you to think about them seriously and come up with an answer, which you can either document in the comment section or you can just hold it at the back of your mind and or put it down somewhere. So the first scenario will be a 45-year-old man who comes to the clinic with headache that started 3 days ago and rate their headache as 10 out of 10. So for those who are not familiar with this scale, we say that if you're having a painful condition, 0 will be the absence of pain, 1 will be the least pain possible, and 10 will be the worst pain anybody can have. So this young man who is 45 years old has got a headache which is rated 10 out of 10 and it began 3 days ago. But then when you ask for that, you realize that their headache, when it started, it was probably about 1 or 2 out of 10, and after like 24 hours it slowly got worse in spite of using paracetamol or whatever, and it went up to 10 out of 10 at the time they are presenting 3 days later. And now there is the second person who is of the same age, 45-year-old man who comes in with a similar headache, 10 out of 10, but it began just an hour ago. And it started from 0 out of 10 while they were watching TV. They had no headache, and suddenly a headache erupted and got to 10 out of 10 within 2 minutes of onset. So now you have these two scenarios. Which of these scenarios would bother you? Which of these two scenarios do you think most likely has a serious underlying cause or a potentially life-threatening cause? So now I'd like you to pause this video, ponder about these two scenarios, and come up with your answer. Now I assume you have had time to think about these two scenarios and you've paused the video to think about it and you've written down either in the comment section of this video, which I'm curious to see, or you've written it down on your paper, or you've just answered it in your mind. So for me, as a neurologist and a headache specialist, I would be more concerned about the second scenario. That's the patient B whose headache kind of peaked to 10 out of 10 within 2 minutes of onset. This is what we call a thunderclap headache. Like the name suggests, it sounds like a thunderclap, which is sudden and explosive. So every once in a while, we have these kinds of individuals who come in with a headache that's thunderclap. They move from no headache to a headache that's fully established, severe, explosive, 10 out of 10 within 2 minutes, or even 8 out of 10. So these kinds of headaches would worry me and worry any other neurologist who's listening to them, because you are concerned about potentially life-threatening causes of these kinds of headaches. Particularly, we want to exclude something we call subarachnoid hemorrhage, and that is like bleeding inside of the brain or around the brain, which can be potentially life-threatening. This is not the only cause of thunderclap headaches. We've got many other causes. And sometimes after investigations, we don't find anything and we conclude it's primary thunderclap headaches. But there are so many causes for it. But it behoves us to dig and find the cause in that particular scenario. So for patient B, if that is you or someone else, then you would certainly need to present to the doctor to be evaluated for the cause of your headache. So this is one of the red flags in headache medicine. So someone coming in with an explosive onset. Now, the truth is, sometimes we have people with known history of headaches, like migraine, who come with, instead of their usual gradually evolving headaches, they occasionally come with this kind of, explosive presentation, which can trick us. And we investigate and we find nothing. But I think in this scenario, this is one of those few scenarios where it's actually, still useful to investigate and find nothing and be reassured than ignoring the headache. So this is one of the red flags you've learned today. So these are some of the benefits you derive from following channels like this. So I encourage you to like, comment, share, and I would like to read your comments. And of course, very importantly, subscribe so you can see me again next time. Until I come your way again, I am Dr. John Oduwole, your neurologist. Thanks for watching today. I'll see you next time. Bye.